Hello and welcome to a live trade by long-term targets. Today we're going to be having a look at US dollar ZAR. I traded it last night at about 9:30 South African time. So whichever country you're in, you can just do the adjustment to find out what time it was in your area. What I do is I look at the charts every night for about a couple of minutes, maybe 10, 11 minutes max. And that's all the trading I do in the entire day. And it has worked out very well for me in the past couple of years, and I'm going to show you the insights into how I trade and why I trade. If we are looking at the markets on the daily time frame, if I just zoom out all the way, we can see how the market has had a big push, has had a consolidation, and now we're starting to form a bit of a pattern where if I zoom in, the market is going up and it's pushing down, touches our trend line, up, down, up and down, and now we are in this zone again. So the way that I'm looking at my trading opportunities, I want to find when is the best time to get into the market. And if I'm looking at it, my rules are that I need to have at least 3 touches on a known line. So there's 1 touch, there's 2, and last one is 3. If I do not have this, I do not trade. Or at least this strategy anyways. The second rule that I need to have is that my market needs to be above the moving average. So if I'm looking, here's the moving average and the market is above. So it is also finding support on my moving average, which is good because we can see over here, it has found support and it worked out well. Okay, so the first thing it needs to have is 3 touches on the trend line. The second thing is it needs to be in the direction of the moving average. So if I want to buy, it needs to be above. If I want to sell, it would need to be below. You guys understand? So the third thing that I look at is I look at the candles. So if I can just go back a little bit, I can show you what I'm talking about. So if I'm looking at this zone, I can see, grab my tool, I can see that this is an engulfing candle. So it's bigger than the previous red candle that is basically taking it out. And if I'm looking over here, it's the same thing. So I can just get my highlighting tool. Okay, this is also an engulfing candle. So it's much bigger than the red one's body. Okay, here's another example. It's a big engulfing candle. It is bigger than the previous candle. And if I'm looking at where I am right now, last night, here was another engulfing candle. Okay. Now, because I don't trade when the day ends, I don't trade at the last moment of the day. I trade like an hour, hour and a half before the end of day. My trade is never perfectly with the daily candle, but that is fine because the market can go up, it can go down, but the candle will probably stay the same, which it did last night. So if I'm looking, it is still an engulfing candle. Okay. So what I am trying to figure out of this market is I want to find a good area that it goes to. So if I can go to my trade window, I just hold Control T. It'll show me that I've got 3 positions open. Okay, now I've started with a demo account just for the ideas of showing you these videos and so that you can follow the trading process and you can see that nothing is being altered. Okay, if I'm looking at it, I've placed 3 trades. So I've got 1 for 0.01, so that is basically trading with 1,000 US dollars, and I'm converting the currencies like that. Another one with 0.02, and a final one with 0.01 again. So what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to close positions off as I take profits in the market. Okay? So if I'm having a look, I can see that what I want the market to do is I want the market to go from here, I want it to go up for a very, very long amount of time. So if I'm just zooming out, we'd be targeting around this area, right? So somewhere in this zone at about 17 Rand a dollar. That is kind of my target, and the reason why is because of all of these lows. This is where the market has recently found resistance. This is a zone, and the other zone that we'd be looking at would be this area, and I'll show you why now in a moment. Okay, so where I'm looking to take my profit will be in these 2 zones over here. And the reason why is because in the past I can see the market has found support. This was a false. Okay, and it's broken down and it's found resistance in this area. So if I'm looking at it, I've got very good confidence. I've got one area of support. I've got another area of support. Okay, and then I've got an area of resistance after the market has broken through it. Okay, and the reason why the other zone is here at the top is because, again, I found a lot of resistance in this area where the market tried to push up, it failed, it went back down. Here the market broke through and then it tried to hold on and push up. Okay, which it again failed, so that would be my second point. Okay, and lastly is when the market found resistance over here. So what the markets want to do is they want to return to areas where we know that activity has happened in the past, right? So if I'm thinking about it, this zone at the top is a very good area to be looking at. So if I'm thinking about my trade ratios, if I can see where I place my trades, my stop loss would essentially be down here, right? At about 7.5% loss. Okay, so that means that the rand is getting stronger by essentially 7.5%. Okay, and my take profits will be up here, which will be at about 10% gain from where I got it in. So if I'm thinking about the pip value, right? So if I can go down here to about this low, we can see that is about 106. And if I go up to the top, we're looking at about 150. So if I'm thinking about my risk to reward, my reward is about 1.5 times the risk that I'm putting in, which is a pretty good value, especially if you want to give the trade some room to breathe, right? So if I'm looking at my markets, I am anticipating that the market is going to be going up to be testing these top areas. So when the market pushes up, when the market gets to about this zone over here, I'll be taking off one of my positions. So one of the smaller positions, one of the 0.01s. And from there, I'm going to assess what the market does. So I would like to see the market moving and the market breaking through and continuing to the upside, right? So then if the market pushes up and it goes above, then I'll take off another one of my trades. So I'm going to be taking them off at intervals. And then the final trade I'm going to be taking off when I think the entire move is over. So that final one I'm going to be moving to break even once my first two have been taken off. And I let that one basically roll and play out for the next couple of weeks to months. I've made my profits. I'm not interested in following it. Okay, I'm just giving it some space to move and to breathe, right? So yeah, that is basically how I look at my trades. Is I go to my weekly and I see, all right, I can see the market is pushed up. This is a consolidation. Here we're starting to form a pattern. I'm going to be looking at the market going up into these zones. Okay, then I'll go to my daily and I will look for an area of confluence. So where I can see that I've touched my trend line 4 times and I have found a candlestick as well as the moving average that is supporting me. Okay, and that is leading me to place this trade. So we are going to see what the market does, how it unfolds. Nobody knows the future, but that is the in-depth way of how I place my trade. I'm going to be making follow-up videos to tell you when I take off my first and my second and my third position, as well as how the trade worked out and what I could have maybe done differently. But yes, not all trades win, but we can place all trades with a winning attitude, and that is what is important. I'll see you guys in the next video.